if you feel like you keep reliving the same painful experiences no matter how hard you try to move on, the reason may be that your present reality is simply, it's just a delayed reflection of what your imagination has already been rehearsing. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how that loop works and how to break it. I had a client, a single mom. She was really smart, very kind, doing everything she could to build a better life for herself and her young daughter. But unfortunately, she just kept ending up in the same relationship. Different guy, same script, same arguments, same gut punch conversations, and the same ending. And that's why she sought me out. And she said to me, "Why does this keep happening?" And even though it feels really personal at times, she wasn't unlucky in love. She was just stuck in this cycle that she herself could not see. Her nervous system kept dragging her back into this crazy loop until she started breaking it using one of the most powerful ideas I've ever come across. So there's a teacher, Neville Goddard, and if you've never heard of him, he taught in the mid 1900s, and one of his core ideas was simple. He said, "Your imagination creates reality." Now, most people hear Neville Goddard teachings and they think vision boards, positive thinking, manifesting a parking spot. But that's not what we're going to talk about here today. Because here's what Neville actually meant. And this is the part that a lot of people miss or overlook. You're not just imagining when you sit down and try to visualize something, you are imagining all day long. It's all the replays, it's all the mental rehearsals, it's all the conversations that you keep running back through in your head. That's imagination too, and it is a masterful creation. So I want to try and reframe this for you. What you're experiencing right now in present day, emotionally, physically, in your body, that's all old news. Now, Neville Goddard called the physical world a shadow. It's a reflection. It's a mirror of your past inner conversations, your past assumptions, all the past mental rehearsals, which means your current circumstances, the relationship that keeps going sideways, the anxiety that won't quit, the feeling that nothing ever changes, that's not your present. That is your past showing up on a delay. The transaction already happened in your imagination. What you're seeing now is just the receipt or the physical representation of that. So you're not really living in the present, you're living in the echo of the past. And that's exactly why it feels like you're stuck, because you're not actually stuck, you're just experiencing the results of old thinking on delay. Here's another way of looking at it. Let's just say you planted tomato seeds in the spring. You wouldn't stand in the garden in the summer and say, "Why do I keep getting all these tomatoes?" You planted them, they grew. That's how it works. And when it comes to our thoughts, this is the part that trips most people up, because there's a lag. Just like it takes time for seeds to break through the soil, there's a delay between the moment that you shift your inner world and the moment your outer world catches up. So if you've been rehearsing fear, lack, heartbreak for years, you won't think one new thought and then wake up with a different life tomorrow. But that delay isn't evidence that it isn't working. It's just how this process works. Most people will quit during that lag. They try to imagine something better. Nothing changes in 48 hours. And then they say, "See, this doesn't work." But but what they don't realize is the seed has already been planted in the ground. They just stopped watering it. Your thoughts and mental rehearsals are those seeds. Your current reality, it's the garden. And right now, you might be harvesting a crop you didn't even realize you planted. Now, here's where things tend to get real. And this is the piece that turns Neville Goddard's teaching from philosophy into something you can actually use. Your body does not know the difference between something that's happening right now and something that you're vividly remembering from the past. And this isn't woo-woo, this is just neuroscience. When you replay that painful conversation in your head, you might feel your chest tighten, or maybe you get that your stomach will drop, or you get that knot in your stomach. That's where it hits me. Maybe you'll feel your jaw clench. Maybe your breathing just gets shallow. Everybody's different. But the fact is, your body is responding as if what you're thinking about is happening right now. And when that happens over and over and over, which it does, because your brain is really good at rehearsing things, your nervous system starts to treat that state as normal. So now you're in this constant loop. You have a thought, then your body reacts, the reaction triggers that thought again, the thought comes back stronger the next time, body reacts harder, and eventually it doesn't even feel like a thought anymore. It just feels like this is life. This is my life. This is my new normal. This is just how things are. This is just who I attract. But it's not who you are. It's what you've been practicing. So let me come back to this woman that I was working with. Again, single mom, kept attracting the same kind of relationship. And when we start working together, I asked her a simple question. When you're not in a relationship, when you're just going about your day, what are you thinking about? And she thought long and hard about that. And she said, I was just replaying everything constantly. The hurtful things that men had said to me, the fights, the disappointments. See, she'd run through old conversations in her head because her brain kept serving them up like a playlist on repeat. She was focused all day long on what she didn't want. And she was rehearsing it over and over and over again. And here's the thing. She thought she was just processing this. She thought she was trying to make sense out of all of it. But what she was actually doing was that she was practicing that reality, training her nervous system to expect this, planting those same seeds every single day. So her present reality, this is the same kind of guy kept showing up again. That's not bad luck. It was old news. The harvest of seeds that she'd been planting in her imagination without even knowing about it. They were starting to pop up through the soil. They were starting to appear. So what did we do? I didn't tell her just to think positive. That doesn't work when your nervous system is wired for a specific pattern. We had to do two things. One, we had to rewire her thinking. We interrupted that replay. Every single time she caught herself rehearsing an old conversation, she'd pause and ask herself, is this what I want to plant? Or is this old news? And two, she had to retrain the nervous system because her body was addicted to that stress response. So we had to give her system a new experience to practice, new mental rehearsals. What would a healthy conversation feel like? What does it feel like in your body to be honored, to be respected, to be loved, to be made a priority? And she started imagining that on purpose, repeatedly, replacing the old playlist with this new one that she had created. And slowly, not overnight, but steadily, things started to shift because she changed what she was practicing. She was planting new seeds, and her reality started to catch up. So let me bring this home for you because I know some of you are watching this and thinking, okay, but I'm not manifesting bad relationships. I'm just anxious. I'm overwhelmed. I feel stuck. Same loop, different flavor. If you're constantly imagining worst case scenarios, that's a rehearsal. If you're replaying something someone said that hurt you, that's a rehearsal. If you keep mentally fast forwarding to everything that could go wrong, that's a rehearsal. And your body is responding to every single one of those rehearsals as if they're real. That's why you feel exhausted when nothing happened. That's why you feel anxious when everything's fine. Your system is reacting to what you're imagining, not what's actually right in front of you. So here's your starting point, and I want to keep this simple. Start noticing when you're rehearsing old news. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to fight it. Just catch yourself, that self-awareness. And when you do, ask yourself one question. Am I planting what I want to grow, or am I replaying what I want to leave behind? And Neville called this living in the end, not wishing for the end, not hoping for it someday, actually living it from your imagination right now. What does it feel like when the anxiety is gone, when the relationship is a healthy one, when you don't feel stuck anymore? That feeling, practiced deliberately, repeatedly, is how the inner world shifts. And when the inner world shifts, the outer world eventually has to follow, it has to catch up. Because the 3D is just the shadow. And you can't change a shadow by fighting it. You have to change the light. And that one question, when asked honestly and asked often, starts to break that loop, because awareness is the interruption. You can't change a pattern that you can't see. So let's bring this full circle. Neville Goddard taught that imagination creates reality. And he was right, but not in the way most people think. It's not about sitting cross-legged and visualizing a dream for 10 minutes or 30 minutes every single day. It's about recognizing that your imagination is already running all day, every day. And what it's rehearsing is what you're creating. Your current reality, it's the shadow. It's the old news. It's the harvest of seeds that you planted, most of them without even realizing it. But here's the good news. You can plant new seeds, starting now, starting today. You aren't forcing positivity or pretending the past didn't happen, but by catching the old rehearsal and choosing a new one. So don't quit during the lag. The seed is already in the ground. Keep watering it. And if any of this hit home for you, if you felt something shift, or maybe you had an aha moment, hit subscribe, because I'm going to be here every week breaking down the stuff that actually helps you get unstuck with real tools that you can use. Or if you would like to reach out, I offer a free 1-hour consultation to talk about these things if you don't know how to work through this. That's what I'm here for. And I'll see you in the next video.